we have to solve these two simultaneous equations. And solve means find x and find y. Now, with simultaneous equations, there are two methods you can use: elimination or substitution. Now, in this case, we can use either. It doesn't matter because there are no x squareds or y squareds. Both of these equations are linear, and that means we can use either method. If there was an x squared or a y squared in either, then we'd have to use the substitution method. Okay, so I'm going to show you both methods, and I'll start with the elimination method. Okay, so step one. Get both equations written in the form x's, then the y's, then the equals, then the numbers. But we don't have to do anything in this case. They already gave us the equations in that form ready to go. Okay, step two. You have to pick on either the x's or the y's and multiply both equations, well, not necessarily both, one or both of the equations by whatever, we'll work that out in a minute, in order to get the same number in front of the x's, if you're picking on the x's, or the same number in front of the y's. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Like I say, it doesn't matter which one you pick on, so let's pick on the x's. So we want to multiply this whole equation by some number, bring it and rewrite it down here, and then this equation by another number such that the resulting number in front of the x's is the same. So what we're actually looking for is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4, which in this case, well, lowest common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12. They both, in other words, they both go into 12. I mean, they both go into 24, but that's not the lowest common multiple. The lowest one is 12. So, you multiply 4 by 3 to get 12. So we're going to multiply that whole equation by 3. And with this one, you multiply 3 by 4 to get 12. So we're going to multiply that whole equation by 4. Okay, let's do it. So, 4x times 3 is 12x, and there's the 12 we were talking about. 5y times 3 is 15y, equals 13 times 3 is 39. Okay, done. Right, this equation, 3x times 4 is 12x. We've achieved our objective. We've got the same number of x's. The sign doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that was a minus 3x, for example. The important thing is the number, not the sign. Okay. Minus 2y times 4 is minus 8y, equals 27 times 4. Do this in your head. It's good for your brain. 4 20s is 80. 4 7s is 28, 8 plus 28 is 108. Okay. These are the same equations, it's just that these two have been multiplied by a number, and as you know, you can do whatever you want to an equation. You can multiply it by whatever number you want, as long as you multiply both the left and right sides, and it's still the same equation. The only difference is we've now got the same number of x's, which means we can eliminate them. And this is the next step. So we're going to get rid of the x's. And you have to either add or subtract these two equations. And to decide whether you add or subtract, you look at the sign of the x's. In this case, they're both positive. When they're both the same sign, you subtract. So we're going to subtract these two equations. So 12x minus 12x is 0. We've eliminated the x's, hence the elimination method. Right, now this bit, very important. This is where everybody goes wrong. If they're going to make a mistake, this is where you'll go wrong. because we want to do 15y minus 8y. People forget that second minus all the time. You've got to be very careful. There are two minuses. So we're doing 15y minus 8y, which is, as you know, a minus next to a minus is a plus. It's 15y plus 8y, which is 23y. Okay, so we've got plus 23y there. Equals, right, 39 minus 108. Again, do this in your head, it's good for your brain. Although, if you're in an exam, fine, use a calculator, do it quickly. I'm going to do 108 minus 39 and then just change the sign. So 108 minus 40 is 68, so 108 minus 39 is 69. Therefore, it must be minus 69. Okay. So that's just the same as 23y equals minus 69. Get y by itself, divide both sides by 23. Boom, boom. 4y equals 23 goes into 69 3 times. Y is minus 3. Right, we found y. Now, next step, you have to sub in that y into either of your original equations. It doesn't matter which one. So let's put it in this one. Why not? So, y is minus 3. And we have 4x plus 5. Use brackets when subbing in. Y is minus 3. 5y equals 13. Okay, we just solve that and we've got x. So, for x, 5 times minus 3 is minus 15 equals 13. Add 15 to both sides. 4x, boom, boom, equals 28. Divide both sides by 4. Therefore, boom, boom, x equals 7. And we found x. And that's it. That's the elimination method. Now, it doesn't matter which of these equations that you sub the y in to get x. We would have also got x is 7 if we put the y into this equation. And it also doesn't matter whether you choose to eliminate the x's or the y's at the beginning. In fact, I'll do that next. I'll do the question again, still elimination method, and I'll eliminate the y's and prove to you still get y is minus 3 and x is 7. Okay, it's got a bit of housework to do first. Okay, the whole question again, still using the elimination method, only this time we're going to eliminate the y's and we'll still get the same answers. So, what number does both 5 and 2 go into? Well, the lowest common multiple is 10. So, 5 times 2 is 10, and 2 times 5 is 10. I say that we're always looking for the lowest common multiple of these two numbers. And that's the easiest way, if you can find lowest common multiple. For example, if we had 6 and 9, okay, The lowest common multiple of 6 and 9 is 18. They're both going to 18. So we've multiplied the 6 one by 3 and the 9 one by 2. However, if all this lowest common multiple stuff, if you don't like all that, just do it like this. Multiply this equation by that number and this equation by that number. Okay? So we've multiplied this whole top equation by 2. Okay? Positive 2. Doesn't matter what that sign is. Doesn't matter. And we've multiplied this whole equation by 5. Okay? Just do it like that. If the lowest common multiple thing it goes over your head, it's fine. So multiply this equation by that number and this equation by that number. So we've done that. Well, we've got our numbers to multiply by. Let's actually do it. So 4x times 2 is 8x. 5y times 2 is 10y. 13 times 2 is 26. 3x times 5 is 15x. Minus 2y times 5 is minus 10y. And 27 times 5, again do it in your head. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 7 is 35. 135. Okay. Now, like I said, the signs don't matter. You just have to have the same number. The reason the signs don't matter is we're going to add these two equations and the y's will disappear. We're going to add because the signs of the y's are different. And when the signs are different, you add. Okay? So, 8x plus 15x is 23x. 10y plus minus 10y is 10y minus 10y, which is 0. Okay, we've eliminated the y's. Equals 26 plus 135 is 61. Okay? So, in other words, just 23x is 161. Divide both sides by 23, and I bet you that 23 goes into 161 exactly. Therefore, x is, well, I can remember that it's 7 from the first half, so I know it goes in 7 times exactly. X is 7. There we go. See, I was right. Told you, we got the same answer. X is 7. Okay, so same thing again. I also told you that it doesn't matter which of the original equations. In fact, you can sub that into any of the equations, it'll work. You could put it into one of these two if you wanted, but that would be silly because these numbers are bigger, because we've multiplied them, and you make life hard for yourself. I told you it doesn't matter which of the original equations you sub back into it. So this time, I'm going to sub back into the second one. And we should get x is minus 3, wasn't it? Y is minus 3. Anyway, let's find out. 3x is 7. Use brackets when subbing in. Minus 2y is 27. Okay, therefore 21 minus 2y is 27. Take the 21 over there by subtracting 21 from both sides. Therefore, minus 2y is minus 6. Divide both sides by minus 2. Therefore, y is 6 divided minus 2 is minus 3. Hooray! So there we go. That's a complete view of the elimination method. Next, I'm going to show you the substitution method. And we're going to solve these simultaneous equations by substitution. Once I've cleaned the board again. Okay, we're going to solve these simultaneous equations with the substitution method. And to do that, you start by picking on either of the x's or either of the y's from either of the equations. So you've got 4 choices, doesn't matter which. So let's go for this x here. So I'll just rewrite the equation. 4x plus 5y is 13. And we're going to make x the subject of the equation. So take the 5y over there by subtracting 5y from both sides. Therefore, 4x equals 13 minus 5y. Get rid of that 4 by dividing both sides by 4. And we get x is 13 minus 5y over 4. Right. Now what you do is take that value of x and sub it back in to the other equation. So we're going to sub it back in to this equation because we chose that one originally. And we get 3x, use brackets when subbing in, x is this, 13 minus 5y over 4, minus 2y equals 27. Good. We've got one equation, one unknown, that's y, so we're going to find y. So let's get the 4 off the bottom by multiplying all terms by 4. So this lot divided by 4 times by 4 is just whatever's on the top. So it's 3 times 13 minus 5y. Minus 2y times 4 is minus 8y. And 27 times 4 is 108. Okay, multiply out the bracket. 3 times 13 is 39. 3 times minus 5y is minus 15y. Minus 8y is 108. Okay, combine the y's. Therefore, 39 minus 15y minus another 8y is minus 23y is 108. Get the 39 over there by subtracting 39 from both sides. Therefore, minus 23y is 69. Finally, get y by itself by dividing both sides by minus 23. Boom, boom. Therefore, y is minus 3. Yes, we've got the same answer. It worked. Good. Promised you. Right. So now you've got y, you need to find x. And to do that, you take that value of y and sub it back in to either of the original equations. Let's put it back into this one. Why not? So we get 4x plus 5y minus 3 equals 13. Therefore, 4x minus 15 is 13. 4x, add 15 to both sides is 28. Divide both sides by 4, for x is 7. And it worked. There you go. We could have put the y into this equation if we wanted. Let's just quickly do that and I'll show you get the same thing. So 3x minus 2 times y is minus 3 is 27. Therefore, 3x minus 2 times minus 3 is plus 6. 27. Take 6 on both sides. 3x is 21. Divide both sides by 3. For x is 7. Okay. There you go. That's the substitution method for simultaneous equations. And like I said at the beginning, it doesn't matter of your 4 choices which x or which y you pick on to isolate. And to prove that to you, I'm going to do it again. But instead of picking on this x, I'll pick on one of the other 3. And we should get the same answer. Let's see. Okay, substitution method, and this time we're not going to isolate that x, let's isolate this y. So, got this equation, we want to isolate that y, so let's take 3x over there by subtracting 3x on both sides, and we get minus 2y is 27 minus 3x. Divide both sides by minus 2, and we get y is, well, it's that. I don't like the minus on the bottom, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by minus 1. So the top becomes 3x minus 27. And the bottom becomes just 2. That and that are exactly the same thing. I've just moved signs around. Okay, so now you've got y. You've got to sub that back into the other equation, into this one. And we get 4x plus 5y. And y is 3x minus 27 over 2 equals 13. Okay, right, let's get the 2 off the bottom by multiplying all terms by 2. We get 8x plus 3x minus 27 equals 26. What I did there is just multiply this term by 2 there. I multiplied all of them by 2. So these 2's cancel and you're just left with that. So therefore, multiply out the bracket. 8x plus 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times minus 27 is minus 135 equals 26. Okay, combine the x's. 8x plus 15x is 23x. Minus 135 is 26. Add 135 to both sides. Boom, boom. Therefore, 23x is 161. Divide both sides by 23. Boom, boom. Therefore, x is 7. Hooray! So we've got x. Now we need to find y. And to do that, you take that value x and you can sub it back into either of your original equations. Doesn't matter. Let's put it back into this one. So 3x, which is 7, minus 2y equals 27. Therefore, 3 times 7 is 21, minus 2y, 27. Take the 21 over here. Therefore, minus 2y is 6. Divide both sides by minus 2. And you get y is minus 3. Okay. So there you are. That's the substitution method again. So to summarize, simultaneous equations, you can do it with elimination method or substitution method. Both are equally good, it doesn't matter, so pick your favorite. Yeah? Simple as that.